We get set for the 5th seed Kansas City Chiefs taking on the home team, the 4th seeded Indianapolis Colts. Kansas City has won the toss. As you look at Chuck Pagano, this is his first full year on the sidelines after battling leukemia last season. And Andy Reid trying to get his team and break this playoff drought. Alex Smith, the quarterback for Kansas City, will get his hands on the ball first, as the Chiefs set an NFL record with 29.9-yard average per kickoff return. Their special teams have been absolutely brilliant as Quentin Demps takes it out, but he gets no further than the 16 or 17-yard line. And that is where Alex Smith and the Chiefs offense will set up. It was not a standout game for Alex Smith a couple of weeks ago at home at Arrowhead. The Chiefs turned it over 4 times, and Smith was responsible for 3 of those turnovers, and he begins on the ground with Jamaal Charles. And the league MVP candidate gets some good yardage before he's brought down by Corey Redding along the Colts front.
Yeah, I think a central theme throughout this entire game, Dan, for the Colts defense is going to be identifying where Jamaal Charles is. He'll line up at tailback. He'll line up out wide. What did they say all week? It's where's Waldo? Locate him and neutralize him.
Andy Reid says he's going to have a long Saturday night because he is going to get a lot of action here today. On 2nd down and 5, they give it to Charles, and Charles goes ahead for the first down. Jamaal Charles has accounted for more than 1/3 of the Kansas City offense this season.
Andy Reid called him dirty tough. Watch the left tackle here. Brandon Albert get out on the linebacker, pushes Freeman out. And when you talk about a 198-pound tailback being dirty tough, what does that mean? It means he can drop the pad level like you see right there. He'll pass protect. Dan, he'll do all the dirty jobs that earns the respect of his teammates.
This opening drive looking very similar to the one a couple of weeks ago when the Chiefs got their only score of the game on the opening drive. And to the air for the first time, Alex Smith goes for another first down to Dwayne Bowe. That good for a gain of 12. Vontae Davis on the coverage for Indianapolis.
Remember, Vontae Davis is coming off a groin injury, and they're going to test him early. Bowe does a nice job taking it up the field and the back under, and I would expect to see him challenged early and often and see if that groin holds up.
Bowe had to leave the game with a concussion against the Colts a couple of weeks ago, but back here for the playoffs as Knile Davis is the lone setback in now behind Alex Smith on 1st and 10. And the fake to Davis, and Smith, who can run well, instead gets rid of it for a few yards. To Davis for the completion for a gain of 3. So on 2nd and 6 from their own 45. Smith feels the pressure from Antoine Bethea and escapes it, and there's the mobility for Alex Smith, who has an average carry 5.7 yards this season. That was a gain of 15.
This is classic Alex Smith. First of all, McCluster was wide open over the middle, but he doesn't see him, and he's going to use his athletic ability. Look at McCluster. Nobody anywhere near him. Smith pulls it down. People don't realize, Danny, like you're saying, at Utah, under Urban Meyer, this guy was an athlete, running 4.7 40. He's pretty good with those legs.
Kansas City marching it down the field. They're at the Colt 39. And they give it back to Charles, who darts his way for more good yardage. Gain of 7 for Charles, who's down on the turf. Jamaal Charles has made his way off the field after the gain of 7, going through what appears to be concussion protocol. Knile Davis now in the backfield for the Chiefs. And Smith with a pitch to Davis.
How about that?
As we go back to the injury of Charles, from what we saw here, Mike, we really couldn't detect anything specific.
Well, I think at the end, right there, 61, Jarvis Pendleton is a 334-pound defensive tackle. He gets him up high, and then his head bounces off the turf. And again, we're not going to speculate, but what you saw on the sideline was concussion protocol.
Knile Davis, who got the start last week as the Chiefs rested their entire lineup virtually, got the first down, and then they get it out to Dexter McCluster. a Pro Bowl punt return man who's getting more active on the offense for Kansas City.
As soon as Knile Davis came in the game, they went pistol. Then they go with a creative play to McCluster. And Dan, remember in the summer, Chris Ault, the former coach at Nevada and kind of the father of the pistol offense, he worked with Alex Smith this summer installing the pistol for just this situation.
2nd and 5. Again, Kansas City's opening drive. Charles still on the sideline. Davis trying to pick a hole after nothing's doing there. Just bowls his way close to the first down before Greg Toller finally wrestles him down.
You know, I got a chance to watch a lot of Knile Davis in college. He had 13 fumbles in 381 touches at Arkansas. So there were 2 knocks on him. 1 was the fumbling, and 2 was the lack of ability to stay on the field. He never finished the season, so it was durability and fumbling. The Chiefs took him in the 3rd round because Danny's 230 pounds. He runs 4.4, and he's really gifted.
We can see Charles up and trying to get the cobwebs out. They've come out to measure for the first down, and man, is that close. They're going to give it to him. So Kansas City's drive here continues down just outside the Colts 16, and Charles being walked around the sideline as Davis, who got his first career start in for Jamal Charles last week and he rested. They're going to take him to the locker room as we get set for the 10th play of this drive. To the right of Smith is Dexter McCluster, and Smith goes to him out of the backfield for another good gain. Jarrell Freeman on the coverage of McCluster.
It's a good thing that ball came out quickly because Mathis with the spin move up top would have had a big hit on him. Really good timing. McCluster doing a nice job regardless of where they line him up.
They'll bring up 2nd down and short from the 9. And they give it to Davis, looking for a hole in the first down, and it appears he got it. Cavell Connor on the stop for the Colts, and they do give him the first down. So 1st and goal for Kansas City on this impressive opening drive. Again, the last few plays without the services of Jamal Charles, who's been taken to the locker room. And Chuck Pagano called Jamal Charles public enemy #1. That's how he's been referring to him. And you ask any coach on the Colts side of the field, and really on Kansas City's side of the field, who's the key player in this game? Everybody instantly went to Jamal Charles. So he is not a factor right now. Smith to the end zone, just out of the outstretched arms of Junior Hemingway. 2nd and goal, Darius Butler on the coverage.
Well, I thought he had a chance to make a play there. I mean, the differences between field goals and touchdowns, little out and up and a hold, balls in the air, that I think that's got to be called. That's a good move by Hemingway and clearly a hold by Butler.
2nd and goal from the 6. That's Dwayne Bowe in motion to the right. Play action face. Smith looking left. Going to the end zone, and he cannot connect with Donnie Avery. 3rd and goal. So the Colts fans appreciating the way the defense has stepped up here. The first 3rd down try it'll be. And again, it'll come from the 6, 3rd and goal. Davis and McCluster. McCluster in motion to the left. Smith to the end zone, and he's got Dwayne Bowe for the touchdown. So on 3rd and goal, Smith gets Dwayne Bowe to open up the scoring in the NFL playoffs.
That's a case of big body wins. Here he is on Butler. His big body walls off the defender. As long as that throw is on body, then Bowe should win that every time.
In his only other playoff game, Bowe was held without a catch. And so now it's Ryan Succop to try to make it 7-0 Kansas City. Almost midway through the first quarter. So it's an impressive opening drive. Levon Brazil awaiting the kick from Ryan Succop. 7-0 Kansas City, trying to break a 7-game playoff losing streak, which dates back 20 years. Here comes Brazil out for the Colts. And a good return for him across the 25-yard line. Way here in the great city of Indianapolis, the Colts begin their first drive with a pass complete to T.Y. Hilton for the first down. So Andrew Luck, we were told by Pagano and the staff, like the last 3 games of the Colts regular season, they're going to do this hurry up.
Houston bucket. Houston bucket. Houston bucket. Hey, signal to 56. Grenades. Grenades. Q8. Brown Q8. Line 56. Stand. Brown Q8. Stand. Where's the start? Grenades. Grenades.
And Luck to the air right away again to Hilton. Hilton, the real key player for Indianapolis, as they were decimated by injuries on offense. None more costly than Reggie Wayne, who tore his ACL in midseason. And T.Y. Hilton is the man that stepped up the most for the Colts offense.
Yeah, and they're trying to get him actively involved early. Both throws, first possession to number 13.
On 2nd and 5. See how quiet it gets.
This is a crowd used to Peyton Manning,
exactly,
used to respecting the offensive quarterback.
So he can call out his signals and audibles. 2nd and 5. He goes to Hilton again. 3 for 3, and Hilton breaks loose for a huge gain deep into Chiefs territory before he's pushed out of bounds by Kendrick Lewis. A gain of 24 for T.Y.
Kansas City is known for man coverage. Look how far Dante Robinson, 21, has to come to cover that crossing route. So when you play a team that's heavy man, that's one of the man breakers right there. A ton of crossing routes.
Hilton in his 2nd year, over 1,000 yards this season for the first time. Luck's gone to him every time. This time he goes to Levon Brazil, and this time the Chiefs were there to bring him down. Hussein Abdullah on the stop of Brazil. Andrew Luck set an NFL passing record this year. As we look at Brazil, this is what the fans reacted to.
It wasn't on the face mask.
As Dontari Poe took a grab there of Brazil. So no gain, 2nd down and 10. And Luck to the end of the other side, and that's complete to Coby Fleener for a first down. Eric Berry on the coverage, gain of 18 for Fleener. Luck's target at Stanford as well.
Yeah, this is a great matchup. All-pro safety Eric Berry, one-on-one, no help. And I think Luck will take that every single time. Pre-snap, I think his eyes lit up.
So the ball all the way down to the Kansas City 15. 5 plays, 5 passes so far for Luck. Another pass, another completion to Brazil, who's down to the 10.
And the ball's coming out very quickly. It's helping their tackles, Costanzo and Sherrillis, in blocking both Tamba Hali and Justin Houston.
Going to say a great year for Luck. Set an NFL record with the most passing yards in the first 2 seasons of a career. And he has come out lighting it up here in the Colts opening drive. 2nd down and 5 from the Kansas City 10. Another pass. That one for a touchdown to Hilton.
For a young receiver, he gives just enough of an inside move to get Dante Robinson some separation, and that's a beautiful throw to the back of the end zone.
Literally a perfect opening drive for Andrew Luck. 7 of 7, 74 yards, all pass play, 4 to Hilton, and then the last 4 the touchdown. As Adam Vinatieri in his 18th year and a 41-year-old veteran ties it up. T.Y. Hilton with a touchdown catch from Luck. It was a perfect 7 of 7. As Kansas City will get their hands on the football again. Quentin Demps is going to come out with it. And Demps moves across the 20, close to the 25-yard line. Again, the storyline here early, Jamal Charles hurt on the 6th play of the game. Andy Reid in his 20th postseason game, 10th playoff appearance in 15 seasons, but this turnaround in Kansas City has been remarkable. Worst in the NFL, 2-14 last year, and look what they've done in this turnaround at 11-5. Second in the turnover margin, plus 18, has been one of the big keys. But again, Jamal Charles out of the lineup, being evaluated for a concussion as Alex Smith goes to the air looking for Dwayne Bowe, who he connected in with on the first touchdown.
And Dan, from that graphic, I think the most important number there was the turnover differential, and I attribute 90% of that to the acquisition of the quarterback Alex Smith. Now, it cost them a second-round pick last year and what became a second-round pick this year. But I would tell you, I think Alex Smith has been worth every bit of that.
You can see Knile Davis in there behind the fullback Anthony Sherman on 2nd down and 10. And Smith buys some time, goes up, and down he goes just across the 25. A flag is down at about the 44.
While the quarterback was in the pocket, illegal contact, number 23, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And that's on Vontae Davis.
He doesn't look 100% to me. Bottom of the screen. Hands are on right there on the turn. Quarterback's in the pocket, so it's a 5-yard penalty. I've been watching him kind of closely. Had an MRI on the groin after last week. It came back negative, but I don't think he's bouncing around like he usually does.
So it's a 1st and 10 for Kansas City just across its own 30. 4-minute mark, opening quarter. And here's Davis. And the rookie out of Arkansas, who was a 3rd-round draft pick, gets another 4 yards. And again, in for Charles, who was out of the game at the 11:40 mark of this quarter. Well, there's the brain trust. Has a lot to do with the transformation of this team. Clark Hunt, the owner of the Chiefs, John Dorsey, the new GM, but it was Reid who Hunt first hired as the big move. And here's Dwayne Bowe with a big gain, and he's still on his feet. Is he going to get to the end zone? Just dragged down inside the 5 by Antoine Bethea. 63-yard gain for Bowe.
Great play action. Bowe is going to get inside Toller. Once he's inside, he wins. Now watch number 30, Landry, right here, miss the tackle. There's another missed tackle. It looks like he's going to get it to the house, but Bethea catches him from behind. That is a great cut right there by Bowe. At 221 pounds, he breaks 2 tackles and gets it all the way down to the 2-yard line.
You saw Reid earlier there. They awarded Bowe a 5-year, $56 million deal this year. And he just paid off big time there. 1st and goal. Smith rolls to his right and just throws it away. 2nd and goal.
And that doesn't look like much, that play right there, but it kind of exemplifies what Alex Smith is. He does not take chances. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes they'd rather see him try to make a big play, force something, but he does not force the football.
And that's why he gets tagged with, he's a good manager of the game. Right. Nothing spectacular. But he was the #1 overall pick 9 years ago out of Utah, spent 8 years in San Francisco before Colin Kaepernick unseated him, and here he is with the Chiefs trying to break a playoff loss streak as Davis gets close to the goal line. They'll bring up 3rd and goal from inside the 1.
Well, I thought he was in, and Cavell Connor made a big hit on the 1-yard line. Watch Connor fill right there. Turns him sideways, and he doesn't get in the end zone.
Well, Kansas City scored on the other 3rd and goal when Alex Smith found Bowe, and they've got 3rd and goal now from just outside the goal line. And they hand it off to Davis, and he's stopped. Leading the surge was Corey Redding.
33 years old, still so quick. Watch him jump outside the block of Schwartz, still quick enough to get inside, and then he gets a bunch of help from his friends. Boy, what a nice goal line stop by the home team.
Redding, who played for Pagano in Baltimore. And that sets up 4th and goal in the field goal unit for Kansas City as Ryan Succop, you can see he's missed 3 of his last 4 attempts. This is just a chip shot, but he missed a 41-yard field goal last week in the loss to the Chargers in overtime. Again, that was a game where Kansas City basically played its reserves. So this one just from 19 yards out to take a 10-7 lead. And no problem for Ryan Succop. So both teams have scored on all of their possessions so far. Andrew Luck and the Colts offense will get another chance coming up. But the most passing yards in the first 2 seasons in NFL history. Luck passing Cam Newton this season. And Peyton Manning, you see him in the Colt jersey there. Back in 98-99 had the record at one point as well. His man he took over for and still hears a lot about Peyton Manning. But Luck 7 for 7 in that opening drive. All passes, and he and the Colts will have another chance here, trailing 10-7 with 53 seconds left in the opening quarter, and taking it midway in the end zone is Brazil, and Brazil is out close to the 30-yard line. Colts with an NFL low 14 turnovers in the regular season. They begin this drive at their own 30. This is Donald Brown with his first carry of the game, and it comes with 40 seconds left in the opening quarter.
You know, it's interesting. We showed the graphic a minute ago, Danny, with the top 3 quarterbacks all time. And Peyton Manning standing there, and when you talk to Andrew, he does not like the comparisons to him. But when I watch him like right now, the control he takes, wearing a Colts uniform, and the talent he has, you can't help but think of it.
Back to the air again. Ball was deflected out of his arm, or somebody got a piece of his arm as he was looking for Griff Whalen. That'll bring up 3rd and 6.
Yeah, the first time they've really affected the quarterback. Watch Justin Houston from this side and Hali from this time. Houston beats Sherrillis. Hali beats Costanzo. Boy, that's really strong, and that's the first time they've really affected Andrew Luck.
Tamba Hali and Justin Houston back on the field for the same time in more than a month. Both have been banged up, especially Houston, who dislocated his elbow more than a month ago and is having his first action back. 3rd and 6 now. And more pressure for Luck, but he just stands in there, and this one is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. 4th down, and that'll bring up the punting unit for Indianapolis.
Yeah, that time they brought Ron Parker. One of the things this team does is they can blitz from all 3 levels. That means defensive linemen, linebackers, and defensive back. Safety Ron Parker comes, but Luck does a great job climbing the pocket. Right there, steps up in the pocket, shrugs it off, tries to get the ball down the field.
And awaiting the punt of Pat McAfee, one of the most dangerous punt return men in history, Dexter McCluster, who's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns this season. There's a lot of juke in there, but gets no farther than the 20. The Chiefs have a 10-7 lead and the ball back beginning at their own 21-yard line as we begin the second quarter. Dan Hicks, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan with you to open up the NFL playoffs in 2014. Alex Smith, incomplete. Big story of the game in the first quarter, Jamal Charles out for Kansas City. And for more, we head down to Alex. Alex.
Well, Dan and Mike, the hit that Jamal Charles took in the first quarter of this game was so innocuous that head athletic trainer Rick Burkholder and one of the team physicians had to review it on the sideline on the injury replay system multiple times. It appears likely that it was the turf, though, that caused a concussion, if that is in fact what he has. Meanwhile, running backs coach Eric Bieniemy has been spending a lot of time with Knile Davis on the sidelines, mostly going over pass protection, you guys. A very underrated part of Jamal Charles' game.
Thank you, Alex. They fake it to Davis, and Smith again incomplete. Second down and 10. Robert Mathis making his presence known. Third down and 10 it'll be for the Chiefs.
Everybody you talk to in this organization tells you there are two pillars within the organization on that playing field. One of them is Robert Mathis, and the other is Reggie Wayne.
The undisputed leaders of this Indianapolis Colts team. Of course, Wayne out, but injured, but a huge presence, coaching on the sidelines, cheering on the offense. And of course, Robert Mathis having a Pro Bowl year again. Smith on 3rd and 10, looking deep downfield, and wide open is Donnie Avery. "79 yards to Avery as Smith has found Bowe for a big gain, and now Avery."
Stevenson's going to push Mathis up the field, and a nice job by Alex Smith stepping up into the pocket. And then Toller, number 28, looks to me, and again, he was injured. This is his first start in several weeks. Donnie Avery, one of the fastest wide receivers in football, just blew right by him.
That Colts defensive secondary giving up some huge pass plays. Kansas City was able to get the field goal earlier when Bowe got loose for 63 yards. That one goes for 79, and Kansas City a chance to open up a 10-point lead here in the opening moments of the second quarter. Back here at Lucas Oil, Kansas City opening up a 17-7 lead as that latest drive took all of 21 seconds. The 79-yard scoring strike to Donnie Avery as Andy Reid and the Chiefs look to break that 0-for-7 playoff drought. Kansas City has scored on all 3 of its first possessions. Field goal and a couple of touchdowns. LaVon Brazil takes a knee for Indianapolis, and that will come out to the 20.
You know, we spoke to Alex Smith yesterday, and one of the main points he made was he had to identify which side Mathis lined up on, and then because of the speed Mathis has, make sure he climbs the pocket. Look at him. He steps up, drops the shoulder through so the ball can't be ripped away from him. That's textbook quarterback play against an outside speed rusher.
So there's the latest connection. Donnie Avery, the recipient of the Smith touchdown pass. Trent Richardson, the lone setback as Hilton goes in motion, and they pitch it to Trent Richardson. The big acquisition in September for the Colts, and he puts the ball on the ground, and it's picked up by Justin Houston, and Kansas City has it. So the first time Trent Richardson touches the ball, he fumbles it. Third pick overall in the draft, traded from Cleveland, and in his first playoff touch for Indianapolis, turns it over.
A lot of dancing here. Sean Smith forces him to turn it back inside. He doesn't protect the football. Who rips it away from him? He just loses it. When he turns back to the inside, Cardinal sin. Everything going. There it is right there. Tamba Hali just got his hand on the football.
So Kansas City set up at the 17. Again, only 14 turnovers all regular season for Indianapolis. They cough it up here. And Kansas City with an excellent opportunity here to increase their lead. They lead by 10 already. And Davis with the carry. And he's got a first down. First and goal, Chiefs. Antoine Bethea brought him down. And again, all of this being done without Jamaal Charles out of the game in the 6th play of the game.
The Kansas City front has been dominant. Watch the cutback by Niles. There's the cut back across the grain. Bethea, the safety, comes in to make the tackle. But I love the way Knile Davis finishes this run. Give credit to Rodney Hudson and Jeff Allen on the front side of that play.
There's Richardson on the sideline as Kansas City tries to take advantage of his turnover. On first and goal, they give it to Davis. Nothing going left, tries to churn his way up the middle, and he lost a little ground.
The key block there is the tight end, Fasano, and he couldn't get it done. Andrew Luck, of course, sitting there going, okay, what kind of deficit am I going to be working with here?
Again, such a efficient turnover-free Indianapolis season it has been. But here's Kansas City on second and goal from the 6. And a timeout called by the Colts.
This is the first charge timeout. Indianapolis, 30-second timeout.
Well, the Colts defense dug in earlier when Kansas City got up close. Look at the shovel pass there to Anthony Sherman. How about this playbook?
Wait a minute, who said he can't make plays? Is this a game manager? He's going to step up inside Mathis again. Okay, outside of Stevenson, steps up inside, sees Sherman, the fullback out of University of Connecticut, and watch the shovel. That's a playmaker to me. That was cool.
Scored his first career touchdown on reception earlier in the year against Cleveland, and Anthony Sherman, after all that spectacular wide receiving numbers that Alex Smith was putting up to Bowe and to Avery, it's a little shovel pass to the fullback and Chuck Pagano and the Colts in a 24-7 hole.
Yeah, and I think at halftime we ought to ask Tony Dungy a little bit about 2005. His Indianapolis Colts team beat Pittsburgh and thumped them pretty good late November and came back in the first round and lost to them. Very similar to what we're seeing here.
As Brazil takes a knee, and with 13 minutes left in the opening half.
And the big plays add up to a 24-7 deficit for Indy.
And on the ground is Donald Brown. He had the big game a couple of weeks ago against Kansas City on the road. 33-yard touchdown reception. Also added a 51-yard touchdown run. So Brown not a huge factor thus far, as Luck and the Colts opened up with all passing early on. So Brown in there flanking again. Luck here on 2nd down and 7. And Luck floating it down the sideline in the area of Hilton, incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Really nice job by the corner here. Watch what happens. He never bites at all. It's a double move by T.Y. Hilton. Marcus Cooper, the rookie free agent out of Rutgers, doesn't buy it, and that's really good situational football. You've got a big lead. Why would you jump a double move?
Well, Trent Richardson is back in the game for the first time after the fumble, which led to the latest Kansas City score. Luck avoids the pressure, steps up, and it is caught close to the 40-yard line by Griff Whalen. Another one of those Stanford connections for Andrew Luck. T.Y. Hilton slow. In fact, has not gotten up off the turf. After a 17-yard gain by Whalen, Hilton, who was the main target for Luck in the opening drive, that ended with a touchdown. Take a look at number 13.
You're going to see 13. He's behind Whalen, and the safety on the way right there is going to take a big hit. Kendrick Lewis trying to get to Whalen.
Never saw it coming. T.Y. Hilton, good news for Colts, is back up as Donald Brown gets the carry on first down and 10, close to the 45-yard line.
It's going to be tough making a living in there with big Dontari Poe.
In all those Pro Bowlers, you know, the Chiefs had 6 Pro Bowlers last year when they went 2-14. They've got 8 this year, and again with the addition of Houston back and Hali back in there, they are a formidable, especially front 7. Second down and 5. Luck buying some time, was pressured there, incomplete, intended for Whalen. Hali was in there.
Yeah, that pass was affected by Tamba Hali. He was working on Anthony Costanzo, and they call this converting speed to power.
Again, didn't practice all week. He really aggravated that swollen knee in the last game a couple of weeks ago. As that pass is complete to Coby Fleener, but short of the first down. Eric Berry, Pro Bowler there for Kansas City.
There's that matchup we talked about earlier in the game. Fleener won when he was lined up outside. This time he's in line, and here's Berry, and this is the one-on-one matchup we talked about. Very close to a first down. And if he doesn't make this right now, Chuck Pagano's got to be thinking, am I going to go for it or not?
Yeah, down 24-7.
Exactly. How many possessions do I have left? And I think
short.
Yeah, I think you go for it right here. I really do.
And that's what they're going to do. With 11:08 left in the half, Trent Richardson is out there.
They just trying to get him to jump off.
And Luck keeps it. They faked it to Richardson, and Luck slides in safely. Gain of 21. They had everybody fooled. Everybody went for Richardson, and Luck kept it for a big gain.
That is the first time this entire season that Andrew Luck kept the football in zone read. They protecting him. They didn't want the franchise to get hurt, but in the playoffs, the first time all year, and then smart enough to get down.
And offensive coordinator Pep Hamilton likes those slides, doesn't he? I mean, Andrew Luck's a big guy, 6'4", 240, and he can take some defenders out, but that's what Pep likes to see. Keep the franchise quarterback healthy. They just get this play off, and Luck to the air, and Hilton, who took a big hit earlier, takes another one there and ends up streaking up the sidelines for a gain of 10.
How does 178 pounds run through that hit by Berry? Berry's going to come up flying, delivers a big hit. That's an excellent job. T.Y. Hilton.
Hilton gets loose, picks up the first down. And Colts with a little life here, trailing 24-7.
Check out. Yeah, triple 39. 390. 390.
Incomplete. Falling down was Hilton on the far sideline as Marcus Cooper was defending. Crowd doesn't like it as they saw Hilton stumble.
Remember, Cooper is a rookie free agent out of Rutgers. Hilton's trying to get back. There's the first legal jam. I have no problem with that. Contact started at about 3 or 4 yards. What they've done is they've moved Cooper to corner, and Brandon Flowers has kicked inside to play the slot.
Flowers, the Pro Bowl cornerback, just inside the 20 on 2nd and 10. Hali coming around the corner. Luck evades him, and incomplete to Whalen. Whalen, another one of those receivers, along with Hilton, who has emerged with Reggie Wayne out. Reggie Wayne, after 189 games, tore his ACL. A huge blow for the Colts. They missed a number of starters on offense. They also lost a couple of running backs. Their starting tight end, Dwayne Allen, out, and they've been picking up the pieces ever since, and that was the biggest piece to fill there with Wayne. That ball is deflected by Justin Houston. You can see him wearing that big elbow brace on his right arm after dislocating it more than a month ago, his first game back since.
Yeah, when they're healthy, when he's on one side, Tamba Hali on the other, Vinatieri, Poe in the middle, their front is as good as any front in the league. And Dan, the worst game Indy played was against St. Louis. They got whacked 38-8. And I think this defensive front of Kansas City is very similar to St. Louis.
So Ryan Vinatieri, the 41-year-old veteran who connected on a career-high 35 field goals. Adam Vinatieri during the regular season connects there from 37 yards out. Had a nice conversation with Robert yesterday, of course a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year, and he said, hey, I admit it, it would be a dream come true for a guy that was out of Alabama A&M some 11 years ago, having a career season, 6 straight Pro Bowls at the age of 32, and one of 4 Colts who played for the Super Bowl champion Indianapolis team that is still a part of this team. Quentin Demps coming out of the end zone for Kansas City, and he's knocked down hard short of the 20-yard line by Cavell Connor.
Dan, you notice Toller is out of the game. I told you I didn't think he could go. They're now playing Darius Butler at the left corner.
Knile Davis around the left end. For a big gain, LaRon Landry makes the stop for the Colts, but not before a gain of 7 for Davis. Again, no Jamal Charles. Still.
A lot of people criticized Andy Reid last week for not playing his starters, and I think you get 2 benefits. One, you rest the starters, but secondarily, guys like Knile Davis get additional touches. He was a bell cow a week ago, and now he's got to step up and play.
And here's Davis again looking for a hole, and he's got the first down. Antoine Bethea bringing him down.
An offensive line is really doing a nice job for Kansas City. They're controlling. I think both sides of the line of scrimmage right now are being controlled by Kansas City.
By the way, Jamal Charles officially ruled out for the rest of this game. So again, a player that accounted for more than a third of the offense in the regular season for Kansas City out of the game. But Davis in there for Charles has 10 carries and 42 yards. As Alex Smith keeps it.
Oh boy, you know, 2 weeks ago when they played Indianapolis in the regular season, Alex Smith ran zone read keep, like you saw right there, twice. Both times Indianapolis was fooled. I think there was a point of emphasis this week, Danny, on that play, and they handled it pretty well.
You see week 16 versus the Colts. 153 yards passing, and Alex Smith having a good game here today with already 181 yards through the air. A couple of big strikes to Avery and Bowe. On 2nd and 7, Smith's going to run it again. He's short of the first down, I believe, but Smith showing his mobile ways again. A gain of 6.
Sneaky athletic. You know, he doesn't run 4.5. He won't blow you away with his athleticism, but at college, at Utah with Urban Meyer, he ran the spread, was very effective both with planned quarterback runs and what you saw right there, a scramble.
Again, set a Kansas City quarterback rushing record with a per carry average of 5.7. Just short of the first down there, so 3rd and short at the 39. And here is Smith again. Picks up the first down across the 45.
How about that little quarterback keep? I love the call. 2 key plays in the first half have been planned quarterback runs. See Stevenson pulling out, knocking Bethea up the field. And how about Alex Smith finishing the run?
A lot of anxious eyes on Alex Smith As far as Kansas City is concerned, in his first season with Kansas City, is this going to be the guy that is going to get Kansas City to the big one? Is he the kind of quarterback that can do that? Certainly had some impressive games as a 49er. And 1st and 10, swings it out to Knile Davis. Jarrell Freeman on the coverage for Indianapolis as we send it back down to Alex.
Well, Dan, I think Andy Reid and Alex Smith both having an awful lot of fun together this season. The two tied at the hip, really, if you think about it, and getting a fresh start. Of course, Alex Smith coming from San Francisco and Andy Reid being fired in Philadelphia. But Andy says he has so much trust in Alex Smith that Alex, his quarterback, doesn't let the little things get to him, and he can recover so well in games. And I think we're seeing kind of some of the upside of their relationship today.
On 2nd and 9, Dexter McCluster with a nice catch. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Nice block by Dwayne Bowe. But, you know, to what Alex was just saying, I think the whole Andy Reid thing is interesting. I think it was time for him to leave Philadelphia. I think it worked out to the benefit of Kansas City. Chip Kelly comes in. Philadelphia plays tonight. I think it was a win-win.
And he's back to coaching. He was so happy when we talked to him yesterday. He said, you know, I got that personnel thing going in Philadelphia where I really got away from what I really love to do, and that's been returned to him again in Kansas City. 3rd and 4. Smith looks right, goes left, and drops it out for the 1st down to Anthony Fasano, whose first catch of the game is a key one, and keeps the chains moving after a gain of 5.
Andy Reid is known for the most comprehensive screen game in the National Football League. They're going to fake screen right and come back to Fasano in a tight end middle screen. Well designed. And Fasano's not going to break the speed limit, but he gets you the 1st down.
Fasano, a starter in Miami for some 5 years. And when we talked to Pagano and the Colts, he said, you know, we're going to see a lot of different stuff than we saw in the first meeting a couple of weeks ago from Andy Reid and his offense. As Knile Davis gets the call, and he's inside the 40-yard line. Jarrell Freeman bringing him down.
This is a nice drive. You know, you've got a 24-10 lead. Indy had a little bit of momentum after that Andrew Luck keep on 4th and 1. They kick a field goal, and now the answer here is pretty significant. Dwayne Bowe in the backfield.
Look at the total yards allowed by the Chiefs, 289 today. 2nd down and 5. And that ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage by Darius Butler. One of those acquisitions by Ryan Grigson, the GM of Indianapolis, a guy that was a 2nd-round pick by New England years ago.
He does a nice job. Most defensive backs are very uncomfortable working on a tackle.
Butler just 5'10", able to sky upward and knock that down. That'll bring up 3rd down on the 11th play of this drive.
Big 1st down here because I don't believe they're in field goal range.
A timeout called. There's Greg Mineski, the Colts defensive coordinator, who spent some time in San Francisco when Alex Smith was there.
Sure did. He was a linebacker for the Chiefs.
3rd down and 5. Smith to the air to McCluster for the 1st down and more. So they go to the Pro Bowl punt return man McCluster for the 1st down.
And that was a pick play. You're going to see Dwayne Bowe, number 82, right here. Watch him set a pick on 20, Darius Butler. As a former defensive back, I get highly frustrated that never gets called, but it's a difficult call the way it's set up right now in the NFL.
And all Luck can do is watch from the sidelines as Kansas City is now inside the 20 with another 1st and 10. Smith's got pressure coming up the middle, avoids it and shovels it away to Knile Davis.
Who is this Alex Smith we're seeing today?
He's Mr. Shovel.
Huh? He's going to throw one behind his back soon. Watch the footwork here. Now, my thing with him, he's a half field guy. When he sees color like that, and Cavell Connor flashed immediately, he pulls the ball down, sneaks down. Here comes Knile Davis sneaking out, gets the football, and the hit by Freeman. It's good footwork, really good footwork.
Day at the Improv at Lucas Oil for Alex Smith. 2nd down and 7. Smith goes to the middle, and unable to hold on is Avery. And Jarrell Freeman has been very active. Free agent signee from Harry Hardin Baylor. He's out of Waco, Texas. He's been the leading tackler the last couple of seasons for Indianapolis. He was released by the Titans prior to the 08 season, so he went to the Canadian Football League for 3 years, played with Saskatchewan, got his way back into the NFL, got a call from Ryan Grigson, and has turned it into the opportunity of a lifetime. He says he plays like he doesn't want to go back to Canada, and he's been playing like that for the Colts. 3rd down and 7. They just get the playoff. And Smith's going to try to run for the 1st down, and he gets it. 1:59 left here in the opening half. Kansas City up 24-10. 1st and goal from the Colt 8. Smith going to the end zone, and he was looking for Bowe. 2nd and goal. Flag has been dropped at about the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
During the play, personal foul, face mask, number 23, defense. Half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And that's on Vontae Davis.
Top of the screen, working on Avery. When Avery comes back to the outside, that's an obvious grab, an obvious call. And again, I don't see the same pop and movement skills that I've seen all year long from Vontae Davis. I don't think he's anywhere near 100%.
So 1st and goal. Ball now inside the 5. And bowling his way in is Knile Davis for another touchdown.
Watch these two guys on zone scheme. You're going to see Schwartz and from the backside Stevenson get a piece. And whenever you're in a zone, you don't have a specific man, but they do a great job of creating movement right there, and then Davis cuts behind it.
So Knile Davis gets into the scoring act for Kansas City. And now Succop trying to make it a 31-10 lead for Kansas City. 1:51 left. So the Chiefs in control as Kansas City has opened up a 31-10 lead on Indianapolis. And Brazil back in his end zone takes the knee. And so with 1:51 left here, Andrew Luck and the Colts try to get some sort of drive and positivity going into the locker room here, Mike.
Yeah, this is an important drive, obviously. I mean, I'm stating the obvious, but at this point, Andrew Luck's got to do anything he can to get points on the board. T.Y. Hilton is back in the game healthy, and he's been the one difference maker so far for Indianapolis.
Luck hangs in there, and it's complete to Coby Fleener, to incomplete. As Fleener made a good try for it. Get another one of those connections at Stanford. You got Fleener, you got Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator for Indianapolis, along with Griff Whalen.
I love what Pep said about Griff Whalen when he walked on at Stanford as a true freshman. He said he had 17% body fat and ran a 4.8 40. And he said, what do I do with that?
No surprise to Luck how Whalen has worked his way into the lineup here for Indianapolis. And here is Luck close to the 30-yard line for a gain of 9. Pep Hamilton so complimentary, of course, you would expect about Andrew Luck, who he coached at Stanford. Just says he continues to be marveled by his memory and the way he's able to recall formations. He was telling us yesterday he goes back to the 2010 Orange Bowl with some things, and Alex says, oh yeah, that's right, but wasn't it a little different than that? There's a pass complete to Fleener. Second-round draft pick from the Cardinal, Hussein Abdullah with a stop.
Yeah, Andrew is so self-effacing, he can't stand that kind of compliment.
Colts ready to go from their 31st and 10 after calling the timeout. 1 left here with 1:02 left, trailing 31-10. Movement on Kansas City's defense, and the flags come in.
Got the Ivy Leaguer who's going to have to leave the game now, Mike Catapano. You get so few opportunities.
Infraction, number 77, defense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The rookie out of Princeton will remember how Andrew Luck began this game perfect, 7 for 7. All passes in the opening drive. Since then 4 for 12, and so he has cooled off considerably.
We talk about, can you affect a quarterback, and it doesn't always translate into sacks. It's pressures, it's hits, and I think their front's done a nice job there. Statistically you don't see it, but they've affected that guy.
170.
Tamba Hali, number 91, trying to get around the edge again at Luck. Luck's pass complete and caught by T.Y. Hilton for the first down. Gain of 22. Just under a minute left.
Yeah, that was a good throw despite pressure up the middle from Allen Bailey. The ball's thrown wide open. T.Y. Hilton. That's 6 catches for Hilton and 84 yards.
And Hilton was the player that capped off that impressive opening drive for Luck. And so ball down at the Kansas City 43. And Luck brought down by Justin Houston. The latest example of how important he has been on that Kansas City defense. They started off like gangbusters during the first part of the season, then Houston got hurt and they kind of had to find their way.
Yeah, and without his counterpart, Hali has not been as effective either.
It was a loss of 7, and Luck's pass is picked off by Brandon Flowers. The Pro Bowl corner with the interception, and another turnover by Indianapolis, second of the game, again a team that led the NFL with the fewest turnovers.
Remember, we talked how they kicked Brandon Flowers inside today. He's going to read the eyes of Andrew Luck and pick him blind. Right, that's a beautiful move, anticipating the throw and following and tracking the eyes of the quarterback. They're in zone. He gets his eyes back on the quarterback, makes a beautiful catch.
Took a hit by his own man, Derek Johnson there.
Yeah.
He might have been able to turn it into an even bigger interception return. And the Kansas City offense with 21 seconds left here is at the 45-yard line. Smith stumbles and just gets back across the line of scrimmage. Clock stops with 13 seconds left as a timeout is called by the Chiefs. First team since '04 to score in the first 5 drives of a postseason game. And 2 turnovers by Chuck Pagano's team adds up to a 31-10 lead for the Chiefs. And that one complete to Davis.
Out of bounds.
And he gets out of bounds. 5 seconds left. Josh McNary on the stop for Indianapolis.
McNary is really a cool story. McNary was the all-time sack leader at Army. Had 28 career sacks, was an outside player. Served our country for 2 years. Went to a regional scouting combine sponsored by the NFL where Ryan Grigson, the GM, saw him run 4.71 at 251 pounds and signed him. And he was on the practice squad for 12 weeks, been playing more and more and becoming an integral part of this team.
Final play of the first half. Smith just gonna loft it up toward the end zone. Incomplete, and that's the way the first half will end. all Kansas City in the first half. They have a 21-point lead over the Indianapolis Colts, as the Colts are at home. And Mike Mayock, a lot of people wanted to make a big deal out of the matchup a couple of weeks ago when at Arrowhead, Indianapolis handled Kansas City. You weren't in that camp.
I just felt like Kansas City's got a lot more frontline talent and more depth, and nothing was more evident. You lose your best football player, Jamal Charles. Knile Davis comes in, 12 carries for 51 yards. It's been all cases.
Kansas City scored on its first 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns and the field goal to help build this 31-10 lead. Indianapolis will have its first chance on offense as Brazil hauls it in, and the Colts will begin at the 20. Let's send it down to Alex.
Hey, Dan. Well, Alex Smith with a number of successful quarterback scrambles in the first half. Head coach Andy Reid telling me that when protection breaks down or when he doesn't have what he wants, that he expects him to continue to take off and go in the second half. Reid telling me that he's confident in his rookie running back, Knile Davis, carrying the ball in the second half. Meanwhile, Chuck Pagano says that his team has got to throw the ball in the second half, down 31-10. He says that they've protected Andrew Luck well enough, but that they have to do a better job of executing in the second half, and that turnovers and the big plays have killed him.
Okay, thank you, Alex. And Luck begins with a pass and another interception. Stepping up in front is Hussein Abdullah. Second pick by Luck. 3rd turnover of the game.
Yeah, that's a horrible decision and throw by Andrew Luck. It's a 2-deep shell with man coverage underneath. Abdullah is man-to-man, and he's just going to step in front. 2 deep, man coverage, steps under it. Heck of a play by Abdullah, and a really bad read and throw by Luck.
Luck has thrown interceptions on his last 2 passes, and for a guy who seemingly is built for the postseason, when you got to take care of the football, be careful with it, give your team a chance in the end, Luck has given it away in his last 2 passes.
Yeah, he forced that one, no doubt.
And so Alex Smith set up right away. And out to McCluster. And so they start off the game in a way you just can't in the second half.
You know, and I made the statement at the top that I thought he was the best young quarterback in the National Football League, and I think frustration is getting the better of him right now. Heck of a play by Abdullah.
And that's where Luck had cleaned up his game even more from last year. He had 18 interceptions in his rookie year, 9 this year coming into this postseason, 2 already. And on 2nd down and 5, it's Davis again in for Jamal Charles. And when Jamal Charles went down on the 6th play of the game, it looked bleak for Kansas City, didn't it? A guy that represents that much offense for Kansas City, so crucial to their team.
I mean, Knile Davis had 12 carries for 52 in the first half. He also caught 4 passes. So effectively stepping into the role of Jamal Charles.
3rd and 2, ball at the Indianapolis 10. Smith avoids pressure again. Those quick feet, and delivers the scoring pass to Davis.
Wow, he really, again, we just showed what he did in the first half. He kind of baited the safety, Antoine Bethea. Bethea had man coverage. You're going to see 41 over here. He's got man coverage on Knile Davis. When you break the pocket, now he's in no man's land. Do you come up and get the quarterback, or do you stay with your man? And the old NFL mantra is do your job. And your job's to cover him, so you have to stay with him.
And Alex Smith, who did a great job of avoiding the pressure, tosses his 4th touchdown of the game. This one to Davis. And now it is really wide open. Who would have thought this after Indianapolis won its final 3 games of the regular season, and Kansas City lost 5 of 7 coming into these playoffs. Indianapolis was the slight favorite here at home. Find themselves in a deep hole as they'll come out to the 20 with their latest try, as Kansas City tacks on more points just moments into the 3rd quarter.
I kind of feel like Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator in Kansas City, has very quietly done a great job for this team. Now, here's a guy that's 62 years old. He's been a successful head coach at Army. He goes to the New York Jets as a linebacker coach, where he spent a lot of time with Rex Ryan. And I want to develop that story after this play.
And Sutton getting the full complement of his talented defense back here as Donald Brown gets the call. So we've really been able to see Sutton's kind of full hand here.
Yeah, we asked him yesterday, you know, what about the Rex Ryan influence? Did you learn anything from him? And here he is at age 62, and he said, yeah, you know, here, quick snap.
2nd and 7. Luck goes to the air. He's got Hilton, who avoids one defender and picks up the first down after a gain of 10. Kendrick Lewis on the stop.
Yeah, he said, I learned that I have to be a fearless play caller. Make the offense worry about you. You can't be afraid to call blitzes. And Bob Sutton has gotten much more aggressive as a defensive play caller.
He told us yesterday we have to affect Luck. Luck's already thrown 2 picks. A little smoother start to this drive as Donald Brown gets it out of the backfield and picks up a first down for Indianapolis. Donald Brown counted on this year when Vic Ballard, Ahmad Bradshaw went down early, among those key injuries on offense for Indianapolis. And Luck avoids the pressure and hauls it downfield and hauled in by Derrick Rogers. What a catch by the rookie out of Tennessee Tech.
Wow. Heavy pressure. Nice job putting the ball up and giving your wide receiver an opportunity to make a play. Both these guys are 6'3". Derrick Rogers goes up and takes it away from Sean Smith. He was undrafted out of Tennessee Tech because of off-the-field issues, but this kid has 1st or 2nd round talent.
Prototype wide receiver, big long arms, and it just paid off there. This is Donald Brown, who waltzes into the end zone for the Colt touchdown. So Lucas Oil wakes up a little bit.
Rookie 3rd round pick Hugh Thornton gets up in the hole. Watch him. Donald Brown gets skinny through there. Gets skinny, ducks down, explodes into the end zone. All of a sudden, Danny, little life in this place, huh?
Derrick Rogers with a huge gain, and then Donald Brown, who was number 3 on the depth chart to start the year behind Bradshaw and Vic Ballard when those injuries set in. Adam Vinatieri tacks on the extra point. 38-17 now. A little more life in the building here at Lucas Oil, but Colts still in a deep hole. 38-17. Kansas City will have a chance to answer Luck's big strike to Rogers and the ensuing touchdown by Donald Brown. Pat McAfee with a kick taken by Quentin Demps. Special teams have been outstanding. So here's Alex Smith and the Chiefs from their own 22. And again, Smith is on the run. He's been doing a lot of dancing in the backfield today. Has been able to avoid, for the most part, the Colts defenders, but he's dropped there. 4 touchdown passes, as we mentioned earlier, for Smith, a Chiefs record for a postseason game, as well as these 38 points that they've already chalked up.
I don't think they've won a postseason game since Joe Montana.
Yeah, that's how long it's been. 20 years. Since then, 7 straight postseason disappointments. Smith with play action. This pass complete for the first down to Junior Hemingway. So after Smith gets dropped for the 2-yard loss, Hemingway picks up the first down.
And a nice job again, because this time Mathis was working on the left tackle, was closing in the quarterback, and Alex Smith got rid of the football again quickly. Brandon Albert pushes him up the field. Ball's thrown beautifully. Man coverage by Antoine Bethea. All the game manager stuff about Alex Smith, and I think he's really stepped it up here in the playoffs. I'm very, very excited to watch him.
This time sets it up for Knile Davis, and he's got another first down. Again, Jamal Charles out with a concussion. By the way, Donnie Avery The wide receiver for Alex Smith also is being evaluated for a concussion. Nevertheless, Kansas City hasn't missed a beat as Andy Reid tries to win for the first time here in the postseason for Kansas City. After all those years with the Eagles, he took Philadelphia to 5 NFC title games, 1 Super Bowl, 10-9 in his days in Philadelphia in the playoffs. Davis, the busy man with Charles out, has a touchdown on the ground and through the air.
Take a look at that body, okay? He was a 3rd-round draft pick this year because he's 227 pounds. He runs sub 4.5. He's got all the talent in the world, but we talked about the fumbling and the durability issues at Arkansas. I spoke with Andy Reid this summer about him, and he loved his work ethic this summer. The kid fumbled twice 2 weeks ago, and when we asked Andy yesterday if that would affect how he used him, he said, heck no, he's fine. We trust him.
Robert Mathis looking to become more of a factor here in the second half, and here comes Mathis to Alex Smith's right, and there's Mathis, and he forces the fumble, and the Colts scrambling after it.
A great call, Danny.
Kelvin Shepherd chased it out, but it was Robert Mathis with 19.5 sacks to lead the NFL. Also a part of his resume is exactly what you saw there. Forced fumbles on the run.
They're going to take a look at this.
Was a fumble and recovered inbounds at the sideline by number 52. First down, Indianapolis.
Kelvin Shepherd.
Watch the end of this right here. Does he have full possession before anything hits out of bounds? Because if he doesn't, it'll go back to Kansas City. Here you go, right here. It's between his elbows. It's on the ground. If he possesses it before rolling out of bounds, and I think he did, it'll stay with Indianapolis.
Looked like he had it. Again, the call on the field is a recovery for the Colts. They're reviewing this. And while they review it, we'll take a timeout and be right back with the decision. Again, the call on the field is a Colts fumble recovery as they are still checking this out. Remember, it has to be conclusive to turn it around.
He has to have full possession prior to touching out of bounds, and I still haven't seen an angle. I'd love to see one right down the sideline that shows me otherwise. See, the ball's between his knees right there.
And there might just not be enough video evidence here to turn it around.
That's the way I feel. But I think it's a good challenge.
Colts hoping it turns into Kansas City's first turnover of the day. What relentless pressure there by Robert Mathis coming around the corner.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands as called.
So the fumble recovery, and Robert Mathis caused it.
He's so relentless. One of the reasons he's as good as he is, he gets double teamed. First Fasano, then comes the second, the guard, Allen, and that, watch him. He just keeps tracking him. Alex Smith has no idea that he's being tracked by Robert Mathis. That's his 9th forced fumble of the season.
And Indianapolis needed a turnover and got it. And they're at the Kansas City 41. Luck hanging in the pocket, going deep downfield toward the end zone. He was looking for Hilton, and there's a flag back toward the line of scrimmage.
Illegal formation, number 74 offense was on the end of the line uncovered. It's 5-yard penalty, still first down.
On Anthony Costanzo, the left tackle. Well,
how about that play call, huh? From all of a sudden a momentum swing. There's Mathis.
Is that your defensive player of the year?
Yes, it is. I've watched a bunch of their tape, and I just am blown away by his talent, his work ethic, and the fact that he's such a great leader on this team.
And doing this at the age of 32. So 1st and 15 as the Colts are backed up. And Luck going near side, and it's complete to Hilton.
Yeah, little bust there in the Kansas City coverage. Sean Smith and Brandon Flowers both go inside. Smith with the chuck outside. Look at here and here. They're both jumping inside. T.Y. Hilton, who's been the best player for the Colts all day, wide open outside.
And he's got another 100-plus yard game receiving. He's at 110 yards now. Picks up a key first down. Luck steps up and he delivers to Hilton again. T.Y. Hilton, good conversation with him yesterday out of Florida International, and the way he decided to go to Florida International was hilarious. He said his young infant son was on a bed, crawled to a hat of Florida International on the bed, what, some 8 times in a row over Western Virginia? That's how he chose his college.
I'd hate to be West Virginia and lose because of that.
The 2nd down and 2 after the gain of 8 by Hilton, and Luck to the air. 1st and goal, Indianapolis, as he connects with Brazil for a gain of 19.
That's what we expected to see from Andrew Luck. Levon Brazil is going to win inside. The ball comes out on time in between the corner and the safety. So the wide receiver has to beat the corner and get inside. The quarterback has to beat the safety. And there you see 29, Eric Berry, the safety, coming in late.
So on 1st and goal, Luck looking for Fleener, incomplete. But you could really sense how the Colts offense has all of a sudden rediscovered that rhythm that they had in the opening drive. And again, this was all caused by Robert Mathis, who stripped Alex Smith. Hit Fleener in the hands. You got to catch that, right?
Sure do. Now, you're talking about a 21-point deficit. They've got to score 7 here. There's plenty of time. Chuck Pagano's guys can climb back into this football game, but they have to convert here.
Since his 2 straight interceptions, Luck is 6 for 7, 7 for 8. Donald Brown trying to get in. Touchdown, Colts.
They get a quad look. 4 players out there. It's hurry up, and it's a bubble screen. Kansas City getting out there late. Donald Brown gets it. Look at number 81, Darius Hayward-Bay, taking 2 Kansas City players into the sideline. Great block by Hayward-Bay.
So all of a sudden, Donald Brown has back-to-back touchdowns as the Colts were down 38-10 moments into the 2nd half, and now have turned it into a 2-score game here.
There's an injury.
That is Brandon Flowers down.
Oh boy, right to the locker room.
Flowers looks like he is on his way to an evaluation. And so Andy Reid now without 3 players, and these are key players, especially Jamal Charles and Donnie Avery, and now Flowers making his way out. So huge, big time turnaround of the feel of this game.
And there's plenty of time. And after the conversion, it's going to be a 14-point deficit. And there's Clyde Christensen, the quarterback coach, sitting with Andrew Luck. And trust me, even though he hasn't played a great game, that kid's going to hang in there, hang in there. And if he has a chance to win it in the 4th quarter, he just might do it.
Yeah, he's got a track record that shows
Sure
that already
does.
in 2 years here in Indianapolis, and also at Stanford, where Luck was all about clutch performances late in the game to pull games out. And Kansas City has found out that the Colts are alive and well, down just a couple of scores, 38-24. This is Quentin Demps coming out for Kansas City. And he's hit hard. Another player down for Kansas City, that is Junior Hemingway. So Hemingway able to make his way off the field and clearing the way for the Kansas City Chiefs. And a little noise being made here at Lucas Oil Stadium for the first time in a while. Chiefs beginning from their own 20. Knile Davis, not much. Driven back by that rejuvenated Colt defense. Cavell Connor leading the way.
Greg Minuski, the defensive coordinator, played for Kansas City years ago in his playing career. He's an old school, tough football coach, and I really respect the way he's brought along some of these young guys.
Smith's going to run it again. Working his way back up. Not much there. That'll bring up third down. And Minuski and the Colts defense now liking what they see. It's just been a totally different game in the last few minutes. Remember, Kansas City scored in the first opening moments of the second half. How about that outfit?
I don't even know how you see.
Quick kick, incomplete. And the ball was just hovering above the field for a second or two as it was intended for Dwayne Bowe. And that'll bring up fourth down on the punting unit for Kansas City.
Greg Toller is out of the game. Josh Gordy, 27 in. Strips it with his right arm, foot. Off the heel, into the air. Landry almost comes up with it.
That would have been some circus interception, huh? So Griff Whalen is back to receive Kansas City's first punt of the day. And Whalen calls for the fair catch. So Indianapolis will try to keep the momentum in its direction, starting at its own 28. Another player down. That is Darius Hayward-Bay on his knees at the 45-yard line. Luck begins this drive, and Hilton had it, but then it was taken out of his arms.
That's an interception
by Hussein Abdullah. And yet another interception for Luck.
Let's see if he has possession prior to going out of bounds. The ball's thrown a little bit behind the intended receiver. You see how it's behind? Now it's in the air. I think he's got possession all the way through, and that's a pick. T.Y. Hilton pops up in the air. Abdullah catches it. Both feet down with possession. That's a turnover, and that's a bad throw. Way behind the intended receiver.
Luck's third interception today. After throwing 9 all regular season. And all that momentum we've just talked about. Poof.
Abdullah playing extremely well today.
So now Kansas City and Alex Smith trying to take advantage of the latest Luck pick. From the Colt 28. Pass caught by Bowe. He's been pretty quiet since that big game earlier in the game. Vontae Davis on the coverage.
I really like the way that Alex Smith is working the pocket today. He's feeling pressure. He's stepping up. His eyes, for the most part, are staying up and locating secondary and tertiary receivers. It's one of the best games I've seen him play.
Second and 6. Davis. Maybe a yard in the forward progress. LaRon Landry led the charge for Indianapolis. And that'll bring up third down.
4 turnovers for Indy, 1 for Kansas City. Here's where you've got to protect the football. No interceptions, no fumbles, no strip sacks. Worst case scenario, you've got to kick a field goal.
It'll be 3rd and 6 from the 24. Here comes the pressure. Smith gets rid of it, and that'll bring up 4th down and a field goal attempt.
No. They bring McNary off the defensive right side. Going to see from over here. Here comes 57 McNary. He gets a piece of Knile Davis. The play at that point is counterfeit and a big stand by their defense.
So Ryan Succop, who had a 19-yard field goal chip shot in the first quarter, here to attempt a 42-yarder as whistles come in and a timeout is called by the Colts. Talked about candidates, players of the year and so forth. What about Andy Reid as coach of the year in this turnaround for Kansas City? 2-14 last season. And what he's done for the Chiefs.
Yeah, he's not happy because he thought there should have been a penalty for 12 men on the field prior to the timeout.
And so that was the lengthy discussion out there with the officials. But here is Succop for the 42-yard attempt finally. Missed one from 41 yards out again last week, which would have won the game against the Chargers. This one hooking a little left, but inside the upright. And Andy Reid, a year removed from that 2-14 season, his first year here in Kansas City, leading the way. And Alex Smith coming over from San Francisco. And Brazil coming out with it for the Colts. So, Mike, we talked a lot about momentum this game. The Colts looked like they had it, and luck with another interception.
You can't win against good football teams when you turn the football over.
Luck goes to work through the air. Donald Brown has it, and he's got a first down and more. All the way up to the 45-yard line before he's brought down by Eric Berry.
I think this guy has very quietly had a good season.
You talked about Knile Davis and his propensity to turn the ball over. How about Donald Brown, who has never lost a fumble in his NFL career?
He's a former first-round pick, and when they traded for Trent Richardson, everybody thought he'd become obsolete. Well, he hasn't.
Luck avoids, just sidesteps a defender and gets it to Brazil. And Brazil in the open field down to the 25-yard line of Kansas City. Luck just kind of skirted the defender before he hooked up for a 30-yard gain to number 15.
And he's hurrying this thing up. He wants up tempo. This is one of those, he's over the line already.
Luck back up top to Derrick Rogers, who had the big gain earlier of 46 yards. Sean Smith defending the 6'3" Rogers.
Rogers had a chance to make a play there. Now on that last play, these are one of you either kind of feel this or you don't. He makes Alan Bailey miss, tucks it away, draws everyone up, and then flips it out to Brazil. And that's a little bit like a Russell Wilson play. And I believe these guys either feel it innately or you don't.
And again, this is a quarterback that's 6'4", 240. Stronger and faster than you think. Donald Brown right up the middle. Down close to the 12-yard line. Kendrick Lewis on the tackle.
There's a draw play, great blocking up front. And Luck's got this thing going in hyperspeed now.
Another first down. Luck looking right. And that ball in and off the arms of Donald Brown.
You know, we haven't mentioned Dontari Poe tonight, who I think has become one of the best football players in the NFL. I thought he had a huge advantage in athletic ability over that front from Indianapolis, but they've done a nice job keeping him out of Andrew Luck's face.
To the end zone, touchdown to Coby Fleener.
They're in a zone here. Fleener's going right down the seam, and once he clears Derrick Johnson, the ball's thrown over Johnson's head, and the defensive backs do not have time to get there.
So that is a huge score for Indianapolis. who can cut the lead to 10. Remember, they got away with a field goal for Kansas City, so they're inching closer, the closest they have been in a while.
As badly as Andrew Luck has played, and I haven't seen him play this badly, he just keeps coming back firing.
Offense this half in big-time favor of the Colts. And still 2.5 left in the third. Plenty of time for the Colts to make it really dramatic here in the fourth quarter. Tell you what, who also represents that never quit attitude for the Colts, Chuck Pagano on the sidelines.
He's the leader of the whole building they have here.
Been an inspiration to this team and this town. This is Quentin Demps getting spun around just past the 15-yard line. Josh McNary, a former man from Army, with a special teams tackle. And Alex Smith in Kansas City will try to seize back some momentum. This drive going to begin just short of the 20 at the 19.
If they go 3 and out, this place is going to explode.
Smith caught. Dwayne Bowe. Smith was feeling more pressure up the middle, but he gets it away for 21 yards. Darius Butler on the coverage for the Colts.
Yeah, they're bringing a full blitz. Here comes Freeman here. Another linebacker here. Ball comes out quickly against man-to-man coverage. Bowe beating Butler. And Greg Manusky's challenged them, and I'll tell you what, you got to give Kansas City credit. That's well done.
Bowe is over the 100-yard mark, 5 catches for 106 yards. Pro Bowler from a couple of seasons ago. And Kansas City up to the 40. Smith dumps it out to Davis, and he's met immediately by Jarrell Freeman. And the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider was on him.
Best thing he does is run. He's a 4-5 guy. He's not a downhill thumper. Look at him take off. He runs like a running back.
Grigson had a beat on him, signed him, and he's been coming up big all year. 2nd and 11. Smith coming up big, getting into Colt territory and picking up the first down. So Smith quiets the crowd down with a gain of 13.
That's a planned quarterback keep, and Dwayne Bowe, the wideout, makes a key block. Watch the fake to Knile Davis, and look at Walden go inside, and now the block outside by Bowe. Well designed and even better execution.
Alex Smith, the second leading rusher on the team, comes up with a big gain there. He's got 8 for 57 yards. Closing seconds of the third quarter. Smith incomplete.
There's the flag.
And a flag comes in. Josh Gordy, number 27, was over there on the coverage.
This is going to be a hold on Gordy as opposed to an interference.
Holding number 41, defense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You say 41, Antoine Bethea.
Here comes 80 Fasano. He breaks outside. There's the hold right there. Certainly wasn't on Bethea. It's on Josh Gordy, who's in the game for Greg Toller.
So 1st and 10, 17 seconds left in the third. Ball inside the 45-yard line of Indianapolis. Kansas City up by 10. Colts in a desperate comeback here in the closing seconds of the third quarter. Knile Davis on the ground. That'll bring up 2nd down. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. And Kansas City from the 41 to begin the fourth quarter. Dan Hicks, Mike Mayock, Alex Flanagan here to start the NFL playoffs in 2014. And on 2nd and 8, Alex Smith going far down the sidelines. He had a wide open Cyrus Gray.
Indianapolis was confused prior to the snap. That's a running back split out wide. And you can see right there, Gordy lets him go. There's no safety over top.
Oof, man, he had him.
Darius Butler is playing safety, and he's typically a corner, so I'm not sure where the mistake was there, but it was either Gordy or Butler who's playing safety in their base defense.
Smith frustrated after missing him, so 3rd down and 8.
Man coverage all the way across.
Smith backing up, flushed out by Mathis, and throws it away. 4th down. He wanted A.J. Jenkins, but the Colts defense is up to the task. And that'll bring out Dustin Colquitt to punt it for Kansas City. Since trailing by 28, remember it was 38-10. The Colts outscored Kansas City 21-3 to end the 3rd quarter. And so now only trail by 10. Colquitt, the left-footed punter, one of the league's best, and Whalen calling for the fair catch at the 10-yard line. Well, it's been a tale of 2 halves, and when you compare the 2 quarterbacks, you see that Alex Smith had a much better first half than Andrew Luck. 3 touchdown passes for Smith, and then things turned better for Andrew Luck and the Colts in the second half, even though Luck threw 2 of his 3 picks in the second half. He's got 180 yards to Smith's 69.
If you told me that Andrew Luck was going to throw 3 interceptions and that KC would have 41 points at the beginning of the 4th quarter, I would have said it's a blowout. Game's over.
And I would have told you that Jamal Charles would be out less than 3 minutes into the game. On top of that, you wouldn't believe it.
Exactly.
Crazy start to the NFL playoffs as Donald Brown has nothing going. So Indianapolis backed up deep in its own territory here.
What was that, an athletic play by Dontari Poe? 350-pound dancing bear.
Started every game of his 2-year career. 2nd down now for Luck. Steps up, ball incomplete. He wanted Brazil.
Cannot be dropping the football in any circumstance, but certainly not down 10
right
in
through
a playoff game. Huge 3rd down here. You can't punt the football and give them field position. Fleener in the backfield.
Luck avoids the pressure, steps up and delivers the 1st down reception to T.Y. Hilton. Key 3rd down gain of 16. Luck to Hilton.
This entire comeback is happening because Andrew Luck continues to use his legs to create plays in the passing game.
And Hilton continues to add to that total. Now 10 catches, 134 yards. He had the opening touchdown for Indianapolis. In that key play, big gain, kind of really helping the field position here for Indianapolis. Is now across the 25. A little breathing room here for Luck. And that's another 1st down to Hilton.
Hilton is ripping it up. Dante Robinson can't stay with him in man coverage. Rodgers is going to clear it out, and then underneath comes T.Y. Hilton. Robinson has been unable to stay with him.
Opening moments of the 4th quarter. Ball at the 40. And Brown surging his way up across the 45 for a good game.
They've had some luck with that play. It's a little bit of a draw play. All the offensive linemen do their pass set. And Donald Brown's been able to sneak in there for good yardage.
And the noise factor has come down. That means the Colts are at work. And on 2nd and 3, Luck to the air to Hilton again. This looks like the opening drive of the game, when Hilton caught 4 of the first 7 passes by Luck.
Yeah, he just works back across the face of Abdullah, and it doesn't matter if it's Dante Robinson, Abdullah. They have not yet been able to cover him in man or zone.
They're up at the Kansas City 41. And they're mixing it up nicely here as Brown goes on the ground.
And I like the physicality of the left side of their offensive line. Costanzo and Hugh Thornton were blowing people off the ball. Donald Brown comes downhill.
2nd down and 4 it'll be from the 35. Luck looking to his right. Nothing there. He's going to run it. Going to pick up the first down. And inside the 25, he slides.
Again with his legs. Really nice pocket formed. And he's going to step up inside. Feels it, sees it, and then slides.
3rd rush for Luck. He's picked up 42 on the ground. And here's Brown again. Inside the 20.
2 weeks ago, Kansas City was spying Andrew Luck in several coverages, so he couldn't beat them with his legs. I think the second half has been all about his ability to step up in the pocket and create plays.
Brings up 2nd down and 6 at the 19. Quick drop by Luck, and he's got Whalen. And Whalen's got the first down inside the 10. A gain of 9, where it'll be 1st and goal.
Yeah, they double team T.Y. Hilton in the slot, so the correct read is to come off that to Griff Whalen. Pretty good matchup. The free agent out of Stanford against the 7th round pick out of Rutgers, Marcus Cooper.
Ball right on the 10-yard line, 1st and goal. Just a clinical drive by the Colts. Quick throw out to Brown, who's trying to get loose toward the goal line. Just short of it. They mark him out at about the 2.
That play is set up expressly to get Donald Brown in space, one-on-one, and he wins. Berry misses the tackle. Brown makes a play.
Already 2 touchdowns for Brown. And they give it to him again.
Fumble.
And he fumbles the ball, and Luck is there to pick it up and go over the goal line.
Are you kidding me?
Talk about luck. Kansas City was poised to hop on it. Luck picked it up and just catapulted himself across the goal line.
29, Eric Berry's going to get the hit right there. Ball pops in the air. You can't make this stuff up, folks.
And what did I say earlier? How Brown has never lost a fumble in his NFL career.
Still hasn't.
Still hasn't, thanks to Luck. What a comeback. This will make it 41-38, and the Indianapolis Colts trailing by 28 moments into the second half. Quentin Demps is going to bring it out from 8 yards deep, stumbles a bit on the 10 and gets it no further than the 17. So here's Alex Smith in Kansas City from deep in their territory. They get it to Junior Hemingway, who was slow in getting up earlier in the game. He's back in there, and a gain of 12 for the Chiefs, and right away they quiet this crowd down as Luck had them energized.
That was a good offensive play call. It was the exact same play off play action that Alex Smith hit Bowe in the first half for a huge gain. That time it was Hemingway.
Remember talking to you all week this game, Mike, you said that if it got to the 4th quarter, you liked Andrew Luck's and the Colts' chances. Well, here we are. We'll see what Alex Smith can do with his Kansas City team, which is trying to avoid what would be a bitter disappointment here with a 28-point lead in the second half, trying to get back to the playoffs. And another Chief is down, and that is Knile Davis. Remember, they've already lost Jamal Charles early in the game, and he is holding that left knee.
This has been a war of attrition here for Kansas City. Charles down. If Knile Davis can't go, it becomes Cyrus Gray. They've lost Donnie Avery.
So injury timeout on the field with a 2nd and 5 for Kansas City. Well, there is Knile Davis, the backup running back to Jamal Charles, is already out with a concussion, being helped off the field. And so 2nd and 5 from the 35. Got Cyrus Gray in the backfield, and that is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Eric Walden to bring up 3rd and 5.
Walden was lined up very wide, 93, bottom of your screen. No chance to cut him. Typically, you want to cut the outside guy to get his hands down. Another big play by the Colts.
Walden with a big play. Started last 2 years for the Packers. And there's Davis being worked on. And there is Cyrus Gray. They're down to their 3rd running back. And on 3rd and 5, they're going to hear it from the Colt crowd. Smith's pass complete, and diving for the 1st down is Dwayne Bowe.
I like how the left side of the offensive line picked up a stunt with Mathis. Mathis is coming inside. The defensive tackle's coming outside. Nice job trading off by Jeff Allen, the left guard, picking up Mathis and allowing the time for Dwayne Bowe to win outside against Josh Gordy.
6 catches, 112 yards for Bowe. Ball just across the 40-yard line. There's Gray, the lone setback, and about the only running back left on the Chiefs squad. They give it to him, and Gray gets maybe a couple. 6th-round draft pick out of Texas A&M a couple of years ago. Just 9 carries this year before this game.
Let's understand the challenge for this Kansas City offense with all the injuries. 2 tailbacks down. Donnie Avery, your starting wideout, is down. And what we're seeing now is guys like Junior Hemingway, guys like A.J. Jenkins, at tailback Cyrus Gray. It's a play-calling challenge for Andy Reid and Doug Peterson.
Play action. They go to Fasano, far sideline, and that'll bring up 3rd and long. Maybe a yard gain there by the tight end.
So who's left that can make a play offensively? Dwayne Bowe is still in the ball game. After that, there's nobody you trust outside of maybe Fasano, who they went to there.
Dexter McCluster is a big play kind of guy. Number 22.
McCluster and Bowe to the same side.
Play clock down to 4, and Kansas City calls a timeout. And the crowd takes a collective breath. Well, we've seen some great comebacks in NFL playoff history, and this one wobbling on the edge of record fashion. Remember, down by 28, less than 3 minutes into the 2nd half, as you take a look at the teams to win after trailing by 28 or more points. Everybody remembers that incredible Buffalo Bills comeback on the Oilers. 32 they were down. Frank Reich game, that happening back in 1993. And can Chuck Pagano's team pull off a similar type of historic comeback with Andrew Luck and company?
I think you're either looking at Bowe or McCluster. And if I'm Indy, I'm going to double team Bowe.
Smith gets it away. Can Jenkins pick up the 1st down easily? He has a nice run to the near side. Big gain for A.J. Jenkins. They're going to mark him out of bounds all the way up to the 29-yard line of the Colts. A gain of 27. Couldn't have come at a better time for Reid.
Kansas City's made a living with this play all year long. It's just a down the field screen. The only live receiver on that play was Jenkins. Every other receiver, tight end, and running back was down the field blocking.
Jenkins, the 30th pick in the 2012 draft by the 49ers. Only 8 career receptions, 3 last week. Picks up a huge one there.
Wow,
and that's another timeout called as the game play clock was down to 1 second.
Smith is upset.
Kansas City.
So we'll see how that factors in at the end of this one, as Kansas City's been forced to take 2 timeouts, now just 1 left.
This is a down the field screen pass. Andy Reid's made a living with this all season long. Okay, here's your intended receiver. Watch everybody block down the field. They're not even going to look for the football. They're all blocking. Why? So they get that movement right there, get a guy that runs 4.35, and remember the trade for Jenkins, Dan, it was a failed wide receiver in San Francisco for a failed wide receiver, Jonathan Baldwin, in Kansas City. Both first-round picks.
Can Kansas City capitalize on the big gain by Jenkins? That's McCluster lined up behind Smith, and McCluster is always dangerous as he earned himself a Pro Bowl berth as a punt returner. Knocked out of bounds by Bethea after a gain of 4.
Keep in mind, McCluster's very comfortable dotting the I as a tailback. At Ole Miss, one of the reasons why scouts loved this guy was the toughness he exhibited as a tailback despite his size.
By the way, it's official, Knile Davis is out for the game.
Oh, boy.
So the top 2 running backs, including Jamal Charles, out for Kansas City. Knee injury for Knile Davis. And on 2nd down and 7, Smith improvising again, gets it out to Anthony Sherman, who's dropped. That is LaRon Landry, who's down now. It's a loss of 4.
That's a heck of a play by LaRon Landry. Rodney Hudson, the center, is the person who's got responsibility to get out and block the contain guy. And look at LaRon Landry. He was just too fast for Rodney Hudson. He's going to drop his head there, which is always dangerous for the tackler. And he's got a knee in the helmet.
Landry, one of the hard hitters in the NFL. He was the guy that gave Dwayne Bowe, a concussion in the game a couple of weeks ago.
That's right.
Both LSU Tigers, former LSU Tigers, and we've got another stoppage of play. We have had our share of hard hits and guys out, evaluations for concussions in one of those games, and Landry's up.
Yeah, Landry was a key signing by general manager Ryan Grigson, along with Corey Redding, who Chuck Pagano had coached in Baltimore 2 years ago, Abreu Franklin. He brought in guys that understood how to play Chuck Pagano's system.
Yeah, Grigson really revamped the whole defensive secondary. There he is, a real personnel junkie. He's been one of the real keys to this rebuilding of this Colt franchise. Again, 11-5 the last 2 years, but remember, they went 2-14 previous to those 2 good years the last 2 seasons. 3rd and 11 for the Chiefs. And it's complete, short of the 1st down to McCluster.
And that's okay. If they're in field goal range, you don't take a sack, you don't turn it over. I would just be concerned that if you do make this field goal and you've got a 6-point lead, then all of a sudden you're handing the ball back to Andrew Luck with the game on the line.
You know, you can't think about all the incredible postseason kicking disappointments that Kansas City has had in playoff years of old. This will be a 43-yard attempt by Ryan Succop to increase the lead. And that one is good. No problem for Ryan Succop. So Kansas City ups the lead 44-38. We've got a 6-point game with 5.5 minutes left, and the Colts getting ready to come out on offense at their own 20, and Andrew Luck will begin there with 5:36 remaining. Andy Reid and Kansas City trying to hang on here, up by 6. Luck and the Colts start at their own 20. There's the list, the notable injury list. Not pretty for Reed. A couple of Pro Bowlers on that list. Luck pass, and it's Hilton who is unable to hang on to this one. This is how wild the possessions for the Colts have been in this half, Mike. They've had the 2 interceptions thrown by Luck. All the while they've had 4 touchdowns around those interceptions. And so again, since trailing 38-10, Indianapolis has outscored KC 28-6. There, a look at the possessions. Wow. Up and down and everywhere for Pep Hamilton and his offense. And here comes Luck, flushed out. Getting it up to the 25 for a gain of 5, and there was no slide there.
He looked like a fullback.
All right, so key 3rd and 5 for Indianapolis.
Andrew Luck's ability to keep plays alive, sliding and moving in that pocket have been the whole difference in this half.
Luck on the mark, complete to Fleener for the first down. Gain of 11 on a key 3rd and 5.
That's a matchup we've talked about since early in the first quarter. It's Pro Bowler 29, Eric Berry with inside leverage. Fleener breaks it away from that inside leverage, and it's an easy throw and catch and a first down.
And another Chief player is down, and I believe that's Justin Houston, the guy that missed 5 games for Andy Reid after dislocating his elbow in the Chargers game earlier. They're taking a look at his left knee there. Kansas City already without a couple of Pro Bowlers lost to injuries. Brandon Flowers on defense, Jamal Charles on offense. And so this injury bug contagious for Kansas City at the wrong time now.
Yeah, and Alex Flanagan just told us that Dante Robinson, the nickel, has been out the last several series. So Abdullah is in the game along with Quentin Demps. So a safety is now playing the nickel position.
And here's Luck and the Colts from their own 36 with a fresh set of downs. Steps up. Long look, and he's got Hilton for the touchdown. T.Y. Hilton with his 2nd touchdown catch of the day, puts him over 200 yards, and Alex Smith and Kansas City are down for the first time. Tied at the moment at 44, but Adam Vinatieri is going to give the Colts the lead for the very first time.
13 catches for 224 yards. T.Y. Hilton against the 2-deep shell. Here's Hilton. Nobody runs underneath. There's no help for the safeties underneath. And I think when all of these defensive backs are hurt, here he is right here, and he's just running deep. And you're going to see number 23, Kendrick Lewis, turning to the outside. Hilton goes inside. There's no help from either underneath or with the backside safety. And Hilton has shredded this defense.
You know, there's been a lot of players that have kept this Indianapolis Colts season alive with all the injuries that they've had. Of course, Reggie Wayne going out. But if you take a look at the wide receiving group, with T.Y. Hilton stepping up, Griff Whalen stepping up, to Rick Rodgers. We were told by the coaching staff yesterday that they're the first group of guys in the building at 6:30 in the morning. They're the last to leave. And Luck just connects with Hilton again for the 2nd time to give the Colts their first lead of the game. 45-44, 4:20 left. Plenty of time for Kansas City and Alex Smith. There he is over the 200 mark. second most in postseason history. Most games with 100+ receiving yards in their first 2 seasons since 1970. T.Y. Hilton matched with Torrey Holt. Only Randy Moss with more back with the Vikings. So T.Y. Hilton, huge day today for the Colts. Again, who trailed by 28 in the opening moments of the second half. So here's Kansas City from its own 20 with 1 timeout left and 4:21 to go. Smith to the air, and he's complete to Dwayne Bowe, who almost got loose as he was brought down at the 45 by Corey Lynch.
You know, some of the Indianapolis Colts stopped because they thought there was movement in the Kansas City line. Dwayne Bowe wasn't even sure. You see how Darius Butler stopped. Half the players stopped because of movement, and I think it was there at right guard. Mathis started pointing his fingers at him. You saw Butler stop, and that's a lesson. You always play to the whistle.
Quick play action. They go to Bowe again, and Bowe has another first down, and they're into Colt territory after a gain of 13. 3.5 to go.
In my wildest dreams, I never saw the high-scoring shootout coming.
One timeout left for Kansas City. Colts looking for a big play on defense. And they give it to Cyrus Gray, who's inside the 40. Again, without Charles and without Davis and a whole host of other Kansas City Chiefs who have gone down in this game. Can they pull this one out in the closing seconds? Again, trailing by just 1, so a field goal is huge here.
Yeah, and you also want to run this clock as much as you can, because even if you kick a field goal, you want Andrew Luck to have as little time as possible to work his magic.
2nd and 7 for the 39. Smith is in trouble. He just gets it away.
I'm not sure he was outside the pocket, and it didn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
He was pretty much straight back, and there's the flag for intentional grounding.
Yep.
Intentional grounding, number 11, offense. Quarterback was in the pocket. There's no eligible receiver in the area. Loss of down. 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
See the tackle box. He's trying to throw it this way to a bubble screen, doesn't have it. There's immediate pressure, certainly inside the tackle box, and that's a good call.
Yep, clearly inside of it. Andrew Luck loving what he sees. And on 3rd and 17 after the penalty, the ball is back almost to midfield.
Watch that wide receiver down the field screen again. There
Smith's
it is.
pass complete. This is McCluster, and he's brought down well short of the first down. They got a little bit of it back. Vontae Davis on the stop as the ball is going to be marked out at about the 43-yard line.
That was the same wide receiver screen they hit A.J. Jenkins on. Really good job by Darius Butler tracking it down and making the tackle.
Play of the game, 2 minutes left, 4th and 11. Kansas City out of field goal range, forced to go for it, 4th and 11.
Dwayne Bowe is here. That's
And
their
a
last
timeout, their last one they take.
This is the 3rd and final timeout, Kansas City, 30-second timeout.
I don't understand how you go to a 2-minute break, have the time to make the call, and come back out and have to burn your final timeout unless you saw something so crazy.
Exactly.
But you didn't. I thought they had an advantageous look. They had Dwayne Bowe by himself, one-on-one with Davis with no help. You know, the criticism in Philadelphia on Andy Reid was time management.
1,052 yards, combined yards for both teams. That is an NFL postseason record. Colts with a 1-point lead. Chiefs with one chance here, 4th and 11, to try to keep their hopes alive of picking up their first postseason win in 20 years.
He's got him.
Smith has a man down the far sidelines. Dwayne Bowe. And he was out. And the Colts celebrating on the sideline as Dwayne Bowe made the catch.
It was
right on the edge.
One-on-one with no help. 1 foot.
Nope.
No way.
That close.
I give Josh Gordy credit for pushing him up against the sidelines. I certainly wouldn't have wanted to see Dwayne Bowe with only single coverage and a chance to win.
So the Colts trailing by 28. That close for Kansas City to keeping the drive alive for a potential game-winning field goal, and the Colts in victory formation are going to pull this one out. Andrew Luck, who throws 3 interceptions. Would you have ever believed that Luck could throw 3 interceptions and the Colts would come out on top? It all went wrong injury-wise for Andy Reid, momentum-wise. Robert Mathis had a key strip, which kind of began this whole momentum wave for the Colts. And the Chiefs are going to go home in the postseason again. 0 for 8 in the last 8 postseason games for Kansas City. And Andrew Luck and the Colts are going to move on with a wild card win over the Kansas City Chiefs. Reid almost can't believe it.
I've never seen a team have more injuries than Kansas City in a big playoff game, but give Indianapolis credit. That comeback and the way they played, with especially their quarterback in the second half, was phenomenal.
Hilton had the huge game, 224 yards receiving. And again, after they trailed by 28 early in the 3rd quarter, the Colts end the game by outscoring Kansas City 35-6 in one of the greatest postseason comebacks in NFL history. There's a man that never stops believing, Chuck Pagano. After the disappointment, and Andrew Luck talked to us about it this week, you know, there was such a finality to that playoff last year, such a kick to the stomach. You never want to get back into that situation in the postseason where you go out one and done and you're gone. Well, this one just has the look of one of those momentum type of games that who knows how far it could carry the Colts into the playoffs. And Andy Reid in his first season in Kansas City, the season is over for the Chiefs. As we send it down to Alex.
Andrew Luck down here, you guys congratulating his teammates as well as Alex Smith. 28 points, you were down at the half. What can you tell me about the second half comeback?
I think it was a total team effort, defensively, you know, special teams offensively, and then we never panicked. Played it one play at a time. And when you got a Rob Mathis on your team, when you got Adam Vinatieri, when you got the guys we have, you know, we feel like we're in every game.
Okay, you say you never panicked, but after the 3rd turnover, you laid flat down on the ground and punched down. What's going through your mind after you throw a 3rd turnover in this game?
Yeah, you know, a lot of words that I can't repeat. You know, disappointed in myself, angry, and you know, I'm glad for the guys sticking with me, the coaches sticking with me, and pulling this one out.
It was an exciting win, Andrew. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Unfazed, undeterred, Andrew Luck and the Colts pull it out. Dan Hicks saying so long from Indianapolis. A wild one in favor of the Colts, 45-44.